everyone, it's Mish for Orange Ocelot Productions, or Oops if you're going to shorten it, and I'm here to talk about something gay. That's it. That's all I have for you. No, today we're going to talk about transgenderism in the military, since that's a topic that is really hot off the press right now. So I don't have numbers for you to crunch or anything like that. I'm sure there are a bunch of videos already out there that talk about that. But let's just talk about a specific angle, perhaps, about transgender individuals and the military and the connection that these two often have because of the very nature of them. So first, let's start off with, why would trans people go into the military when it has a history and culture of being very oppressive and toxic for individuals part of the LGBT community? Great question, and an easy answer, because that is the only place that you can go that you are guaranteed kind of food, housing, and an escape from, you know, the other side of living as a trans individual or gay or lesbian individual as well, which is, you know, poverty, which is violence, which is like sex work and that kind of stuff. So it's an alternative to that kind of lifestyle and career that many trans people are often forced into. So while on the one hand they have to kind of hide their identity or deal with the kind of culture that is in the military from before and now, or, you know, they risk their lives on the streets in the United States as opposed to outside the United States, but dealing with that kind of culture as well, and like sex work is obviously something that is not going to be nice for people to be part of. So like, what I'm trying to get at is, essentially, depending on where trans people go, they're going to have to deal with negative side effects. It just so happens that the military does offer some kind of benefits, such as housing, such as food, such as medical costs kind of being taken care of, outside of obviously trans related costs. So that's one reason why trans people do choose to go into the military. Another reason is, of course, trans people are Americans just like us, and so some of them feel the need to join the military to protect our country, which is an admirable thing for them to do. So again, it could be as simple a reason as they feel it's their duty in the country to do so. But also, the military always recruits people who are from, you know, poor backgrounds, people who do not have the same opportunities as other people to go to colleges or to go into work that is more satisfying, perhaps, or perhaps like they just want to escape the life. That's usually a lot of things that not just trans people but LGBT people in general will go into the military for. So that's one thing. Why are they going into the military? Basically because it's an actual opportunity for them, despite there being, you know, a lot of people who do not want trans people in the military, that don't ask, don't tell kind of regulations that were before. So next thing we tackle, next concept, what the current issue is going on in our politics. Like, what is happening now? Why is this becoming a trend, a topic? Well, to put it simply, Trump fucked up again. To put it not so simply, currently Congress is in the midst of kind of setting their budget for the military as well as other budgetary needs, and one of the line items that the Congress has to talk about is if the military will provide medical support for trans individuals. Republicans obviously do not want to support trans individuals and their surgeries that are necessary for them. So they figured one of the easiest ways to just get over this debate, to not have to deal with this, is to have the president issue an executive order, something that Congress has no control over, and generally speaking doesn't have too much power to kind of overrule, depending on who the majority is in the Congress, which is right now the Republicans. So they told Trump to essentially just executive order and say the military will not provide this funding, and so they would be done with it, so they can move on. But of course, Trump has his own ways of doing things and decided to just overall say, we're not going to need any trans people in the military. We don't want you. We want you out of the military. No trans people in the military. And so obviously this completely backfired into him and the Republican Party's face. because now the issue has come to light why they were originally talking about trans people in the military, as well as, you know, just in general, trans people are human, so we should be able to provide them the medical support that they need. So that is why it is big in the military. That's why it is big in media right now. That's generally the kind of situation that we're in right now. And from the looks of it, we're probably going to continue down the path of actually providing medical surgeries that are necessary for trans people in their gender reassignment. Lastly, here is an I don't want to say alternative viewpoint, but here is another perspective kind of that has been being put forth. So obviously there is the one side that says, we don't want to provide these surgeries, we don't want trans people in the military, blah. Then we have the other side, mostly Democrats, saying, no, trans people should definitely be in the military, we should definitely provide them surgeries, blah. Well, here's an alternative view that I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, as well as other social medias, talk about, which is, why are we still debating on military? Like, get rid of the military. I do not want to continue providing support for the military complex that the US has, which I think is a very valid point to push, especially considering the position and the amount of funding that goes into the military in the United States. So there's that third perspective. So a lot of people who were not already on board saying, yes, support our trans veterans, were mostly saying, well, I do support trans veterans, it's just I don't support the military. So there you have it. That's what is happening right now in the media with trans people. So if this was an informative video for you, or if it helped you understand the issue just a little bit more, or if you have other questions, viewpoints, debates that you want to bring up that we can cover in another future video, please comment below. Definitely subscribe to our channel. It is going to be like a collaborative channel, hopefully with more content in the coming months and weeks. And of course, give this video a like too if you enjoyed it. And so I will see you in another video. Bye bye.